Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet. Welcome to the WCS Season 2 Finals. This is going to be the quarterfinals, the very last quarterfinal, and it is going to be between Bomber, the red Terran player, down the bottom right side of the map, and I was actually commenting that Terrans never end up being red in our previous series, but look at that, red Terran player, so there we go. And up the top left side of the map, it is going to be our blue Zerg player, Scarlett, otherwise known as Toss Imba. So, yeah, moving on, final quarterfinal in this series, and we've had an amazing series of quarterfinals so far. The first series, Alive versus First, two players that I didn't really know too much about, but it definitely went out there, went the full best of 5 series, and First, our Protoss player managing to scrape it out in the end. Very, very nice job there. And in the second series, it was xhaidong versus Naniwa. xhaidong, one of the biggest players in Starcraft 2 today, I think. Absolutely awesome Zerg player. But Naniwa definitely put up a very, very strong defense. Actually went out there, got a game down, and did some great stuff. Unfortunately, could not beat xhaidong, and xhaidong just powered through to the semi-finals. Third quarter-final, we had Tasia versus Rain. Hadn't heard too much Rain before, and he did perform very, very well. Unfortunately, unable to beat Tasia, who we all know is just another powerhouse. Him and xhaidong just completely go in and just own everything. And now we are back in another quarterfinal, the fourth one, and it's another couple of players that I really don't know that much about. Scarlett, I've cast a couple of games of her, and she's definitely a very strong Zerg player, but I mean, you can say that about any Masters level player in this tournament. They're all going to be very strong. There'll be no weak players in this tournament, so whether she's got enough to get into the grand finals, I can't say for sure, and I cannot say for sure that Bomber has either, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see how these guys go. I mean, personally, I don't know, xhaidong and Tasia, I think it's very, very likely that they'll end up in the grand final. I don't know if xhaidong can beat First. First may turn around and beat xhaidong, but I'd give xhaidong a pretty good chance, man. He is extremely good at defeating Protoss. And Tasia, man, Tasia just owns everything. So whoever gets past this round will have to face off against Tasia and beat him in the semi-finals, which is going to be awesome. But I cannot say whether or not they'll be able to beat Tasia. I cannot even say whether they'll be able to beat each other. Of course, I assume one player will be able to beat the other player, but Bomber actually going for some very, very aggressive expansions here. He's got this base coming down, and this is very aggressive in itself, finishing and putting up the orbital around the 420 mark. I assume that's an orbital. I'd be very, very worried if there's I thought maybe there's a planetary or something, like what the hell, but no, it's an orbital. So very, very aggressive, and Scarlett going for pretty standard stuff. I cannot remember if this was a pull first or a hatchery first. I apologize, I was not paying attention, but given what Bomber's doing right now, I suppose it really doesn't matter too much. We do have a couple of Lings out, one Marine, 2 Marines out now, so they're going to get scared away. They see the expansion coming down, and the question is, yes, Scarlett did not get quite as far up the ramp to actually see that third base, and almost certainly Scarlett is going to get a third now. If she knew this third base was there, she would have to go for either a fast fourth if she wanted to play it safe, or she would switch into some really heavy roach tech, go for like a 10-minute bust up, because I mean, Bomber getting the third base out this fast, I reckon a 10-minute push out with roaches, even earlier, like an 8-minute push out with roaches, would just do so much damage to the Terran player, because he's not going to be able to capitalize on this third base. I mean, he's going to get a lot of workers out very soon, but he'll probably be maxed out on workers on both bases around the 10-minute mark, I think, and after that he's going to have to move out to that third base location. And there we go, Scarlett getting the third base, no less than we would have expected, having seen this fast expansion. Link coming in, trying to get a scout, and there we go, the SCV is going to be going in there. Just reorganizing this a little bit. I assume this guy is for watchtower sort of stuff, but yeah, not really any crazy sort of plays from Scarlett, any crazy early plays. She's just going for very, very standard stuff at the moment. No Baneling Nest, no Roach Warren. I will expect to see a Baneling Nest or Roach Warren. Probably a Baneling Nest, considering the upgrade path she has chosen. I don't know if she's definitely committed to Muta Ling at this stage, but definitely looks like Ling. So Banelings definitely makes sense. And here we go, Bomber seeing the third base going down. No less than he was expecting, but at least it's nice to see us there. About 5 Marines coming out. I think that Scarlett should be able to handle those. Only six Lings, but with Queen support, I think... I don't know, actually. She might very well lose a Queen to these guys, unless she gets... Here we go. So 8 more Lings coming out, so she should be fine. Getting a little bit of a break, though, as these guys maybe... would have been able to micro around, save most of their health from the Lings, as the Lings don't have speed. But now speed is going to be up in time, and Bomber probably losing the opportunity to take out a Queen there, but not too much. And this Ling, perfect timing, is actually going to see the base try and land. So that is very, very awesome by Scarlett. She knows exactly what she is dealing with now. And is this a fourth? I see a fourth base coming out. This is a macro hatch, but she will definitely be thinking about a fourth base very soon. She's got to either get a fourth base, or she's got to hit Bomber hard in the next few minutes. And yeah, there we go. So there's the fourth base coming down over there, and she is going to be matching up with his macro. Definitely Bomber doing a crap ton of workers. But Scarlett's definitely matched up and surpassed. I mean, she's definitely in the lead in terms of workers. And that's taking into account that the Zerg should probably be about 10 workers ahead, at least. I mean, if Scarlett's 10 workers ahead, then she's probably about even in terms of pure income, because she's got to balance off against the mules. But she is 15, well, she was 20 ahead, but they're starting to close up that gap now. So Bomber definitely looking like he's in a good position as far as the workers go. We've got a bit of a Ling offensive, and the gate has actually been opened here. So this maybe is going to be a problem. Although it looks like Scarlett's going straight for the third base, and Bomber right now has that fairly well defended, I think. Most of his Marines actually coming over here. He's hoping to get a fourth base over there. Fourth base is not over there. It's in the other location, and I do not know if his Marines are going to make it there. Just... he knows he's going off against Ling, so he's sort of backing off into the corner here. And the Queen's going for the medevac. This is something that he needs to take care of, but as soon as his Marines go out to take care of the Queen, yeah, they just get swarmed all over the place. So, medevac flying away is going to barely survive. It's going to save a bunch of Marines. But the Ling numbers are actually starting to get extremely heavy, and we've got 10 Mutalisks coming out as well. So, yeah, Bomber is definitely going to have to start working on stuff to take care of all those Lings. He's getting tanks out, he's getting Widow Mines out, so it's a very nice play to start with. And here we go, getting the tank sieged up. And defensively, I feel like he's in a pretty good position. Maybe one tank over here, although that's very open to Mutalist attacks if he actually puts it on the high ground, so maybe not a good idea. But yeah, Scarlett just pulling back to the creep. And so far, we haven't seen Scarlett come out with any sort of Baneling numbers. Oh, these Mutas, they have got to be very, very careful. They will get shredded if they run into that Marine pack. And missile turrets, not too big here. Not really, so... yeah, the Mutas are being very, very cagey at the moment, not quite going in. And Bomber definitely going to have to pop up a lot of missile turrets. He needs missile turrets all the way around here. And he could probably do with a couple here as well. He does his missile turret, one missile turret. Not really enough at the moment. So either he's got to keep the pressure on continuously. Oh, here we go. Needs to get his tank sieged up though. But the Zerg army is just way too close here. Just way too close. He pushed himself out a bit too far. Did not get the tank sieged up. And Scarlett is just going to town right here. I think Bomber should be able to hold off. Maybe. I mean, the Widow Mine's doing a great job, but the tanks going down, and the tanks were all the DPS the Bomber really had to deal with that massive amount of Lings, and instead he had to deal with them with Marines. left nothing left to take care of the mutas, and now there are 10 mutas, which, I mean, he's got so many reinforcements coming out that one wave of reinforcements is actually enough to push the mutalisks away. But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, Scarlett actually surprised me a little bit. They're going straight in. I would have thought instead of just going the mutas in there, she would have moved them over there, maybe started taking these guys out, because she got a few workers out. She got a few workers out here. I feel like he saved most of them though, and yeah, Scarlett thinking maybe that she was a little bit more ahead than she actually was, and tried to maybe go for some seriously damaging attacks in terms of finishing the game off. Oh, look at that Baneling. Just managed to miss that clump. But yeah, Scarlett perhaps should have gone for more of the workers there. Gone for this base and just gone straight for the workers, wiped them out nice and fast. Because of course it's very, very slow for a Terran player to rebuild his worker count. Scarlett has got her own 5th base out now, so her economy is going to be completely insane. Well, her production capability is going to be completely insane. The economy was already insane. And Bomber, that mistake, losing the 3 tanks in the front line, definitely a very bad mistake. He obviously didn't know the creep was that close, or he didn't know there was an entire army waiting on it. And the Banelings once again going for the workers, the Marine force just being absolutely shredded, but they're retreating away from the workers, and the workers are just completely open there. And there we go, another 10 workers going down, and I gotta say this is probably the beginning of the end for Bomber, because he's been doing all right so far. He's been holding off barely, but he's definitely been on the backside of all of these engagements, and he's definitely been losing a lot more than he has. Yeah, there we go. That's a full it's almost 2,000 more resources than he has lost compared to Scarlett. And Scarlett's been doing a very, very good job of keeping her mutas alive. She's definitely lost a few. Actually, she's definitely lost 11. But I mean, when you look at the comparison here, Banelings and Lings, fair enough, she's lost a ton of them. But yeah, you can see there's a massive amount of Marines lost. They're just being shredded, and the medevacs, 10 medevacs being lost. And they cost, I think, the same as mutas. So far, Scarlett losing mutas, but she's taken out a ton of medevacs to make up for that. And yeah, look at the mutas go nuts on the medevacs. So doing a very, very good job. And eventually, the Bomber could not get out the amount of units that he needed to. And I mean, if we have a look, there's probably a few buildings that are actually building stuff, like the factories, or I don't know if they really count, but yeah, just did not have enough in the end. Not have enough. Yeah, nearly 100 supply behind, and only 50 of that is actually the workers, so the other 50 will be the army. And very, very nice play. Very early game well, very early in the series, sorry, for Scarlett, just moving in and just getting a good gap. First of all, the creep spread, absolutely phenomenal. This is one of the best creep spreads I've ever seen in a professional tournament. Just got it so far, and even in like the 13-14 minute mark, the creep was already up to there. So that's really, really insane. And yeah, so Bomber just had no opportunity to move out. He tried to move out at one point with the tanks. He was not expecting an attack. He did not expect the creep to be already there. And yeah, the Lings just came out of nowhere, and they were everywhere, all over his army, and Bomber just did not expect it. He did a good stim and run with his Marines to keep them alive for the most part, but the tanks just were completely demolished. And at that early stage of the game, it was like 12-13 minute marks, losing 3 tanks at that point of the game with so many Banelings and Lings on the map was just absolutely devastating for him. And he never really recovered off that. I mean, Scarlett kept the economic advantage for the entire game, and she did beautiful Ling muta sort of combination all over the place. Did a fantastic job, and yeah, eventually she got the edge, and she just kept pushing it and got the win. So really, really solid play from Scarlett in that game. No risks at all, I don't think. She didn't really do any risky sort of play. She said, I'm going muta Ling, I'm going to make it work, I'm going to match his economy, I'm going to surpass it a little bit like I should be. And yeah, going for just a ton of Mutiling and just making it work. So congratulations to her, and the creep spread really was phenomenal. If there was one thing I'd say about this game, is the creep spread. Absolutely phenomenal. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching game one. Scarlett taking a nice early lead, and Bomber is going to have his work cut out to push back if he wants to win this series. So we will see exactly what happens. Stay tuned for that. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.